Unholy my name is Darken, and tonight on Into the Cemetery Gates, she's a CEO and owner of P.W.R. Supremacy. She's a P.W.R. Conflict Apex champion. She's a goddess of chaos. She is Amelia Eris.
Darken has your number. I know because I'm buff, but Darken has the stuff.
Because you think you stand a chance against Darken Graves? Get real.
And well, it is I, the lyrical miracle, the sexual, intellectual, the cunning linguist, and the quintessential stud muffin, Joel. I told your mom I prefer her hairless. So that's why she shaves. And also she does it because she's in the cemetery gates with the unholy icon, Darken Graves. And for your podcast listening pleasure, after you've had yourself an eargasm, downloading and listening to my 69-minute eargasm, after you've experienced the extreme with me and Blue Meanie and Josh Chernoff on That Was Extreme, make sure that you download and listen to Enter the Cemetery Gates with the unholy icon, Darken Graves. Listen to that podcast, or else you're not listening to podcasts. Well.
Hey, what's up? It's Angelina Love and Darken Graves. I think it's about time that you and I get in the ring one-on-one and I can teach you a little lesson that I hear you need to learn. So, how about it?
And all Darken's people said, "Hey, fucking man, I'm Darken Graves, the unholy icon, and this is Enter the Cemetery Gates." And, you know, it's not very often that someone comes along that captures your mind, captures your imagination, and captures the fun of this game that we have called eFed Wrestling. This woman is the epitome of all that, and then some. Let's take a closer look at the goddess of chaos herself, the P.W.R. Apex champion. This is Amelia Eris.
You forget one thing, and it's very simple. I'm a girl that loves a challenge. At the end of the day, I'm in P.W.R. to make a statement. At the end of the day, I'm in P.W.R. to let people know that I'm someone not to fuck with. Because at the end of the day, if I have to make an example out of you, you're damn fucking right I will. You forget one thing. We are Los Verdugos.
Demons taking over. You gave them full permission. Diagnosed bipolar, gave you pill for your prescription.
He who is guilty of treason cast the first stone. You forget one thing. I keep proving each and every single one of you wrong. You forget one thing. That I made this important again. You forget one thing. I can simply Thanos the existence with a few short words. I'm a girl that loves a challenge. No se va, solita mi gente. Que te pase. Buen día. I'll be seeing you guys soon. My boys and little girl. Just... Did you really get bothered? Robbie, did you really go after your troops and say, she was mean to me? My feelings got hurt. She called me old. She made fun of the fact that I don't have a belt anymore. Go do something. Tell her why we're ATM. Tell her how we're gonna try to do something dirty. Really? You see, these were the same reactions I got from a group of people before, and they left. Are you gonna tell me you're gonna leave now too? Cutthroat? Can I add insult to injury at least? Can I just make it sting a little bit more? You know, because you guys are empty-handed. You guys are a disappointment. You guys failed. And it's funny to see how battled each and every one of you are, that you guys need to rally up. You know what? You do that. You go and sit by his side as he gets his ass beat by me. But I digress.
Ladies and gentlemen, she's the CEO and owner of P.W.R. Supremacy. She's the P.W.R. Conflict Apex Champion. And I don't want to forget one thing. At the end of the day, she is the goddess of chaos. She is AMELIA ERIS. How you doing?
Can I show this off a little early? Is it too much? Am I being dramatic?
Sure. Let me get this banner out the way. There you go.
So,
looks good on you.
hi. Thank you. It was actually confession. I've never had a title before in my entire life, like a physical title. So this has a little bit of a sentimental value and meaning aside from proving that I am Apex champion in P.W.R. So.
Right. And, you know, we've talked before. I don't think it's no stranger. You and I are pretty good friends. You told me about how emotional it was for you when you opened it up. Yeah.
I've seen people do like unboxings and stuff when they get it. Because I've never had it, however, when I finally got the package, it was sentimental for me, you know, just to hold something. And I know this is a game that we all play, and this is something we do for fun, but it shows some sense of accomplishment.
It's not a participation medal.
No, absolutely not. Because now I have a target and people are coming after that target, and I'm excited for it. Put your hands down. It's not you.
Not yet.
Uh-huh.
Talk more about that later. But so yeah, P.W.R. Wheel of Misfortune coming up. Speaking of your title, you got Crimson Wolf, first time ever. You got Crimson Wolf twice. We'll talk about that a little bit more.
Yeah.
But P.W.R. you got him for that championship.
Right off the bat.
I know you're not worried, but what? I'm sorry. I didn't mean to cut you off.
I said right off the bat.
Oh yeah.
He came in for the Riot Rumble and was the third runner-up, or one of the last 3 people to be eliminated, which granted him a contendership or a title shot against this. And we will be finding out the stipulations soon.
You're lucky I wasn't in that Rumble.
I'm lucky. Okay.
You're also going to be facing him in the Elite Tournament.
Yes. Oh my God.
You got a full plate on you.
But it doesn't sound as it is not as bad as it sounds.
I'm not
Um,
going to say it sounded bad. You just
yeah. Evan Jones, he let me put this down for a minute, sorry. He reached out to me and he said something about this tournament. And he said for me to be a contestant, and I was like, I was honored. Like, this is called the elite. Whenever you hear the word elite, you think the best of the best. You think people that have been doing this for, whatever reason, and their work is finally getting noticed. And then uh, Evan's co-host, Brian Mead, I've never heard of him, but I'm hearing him in the podcast. I saw him in your podcast
great guy.
last week, and just the things he had to say. So I was like, I didn't even know he watched my work. So being acknowledged like that, and then to see that I'm in the tournament, and then I'm going against Crimson Wolf for that, which is another different world, different entity. It's a different feeling, So it's like I'm going against him twice, but it's the first time over again for both matches, if that makes any sense.
Right, and you're going to be in a comp fed setting with him
Oh
in
boy.
the tournament.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And I'm nervous.
I hated to decline their invite. I wasn't able to accept at the time, but it would have been nice because, like you said, it is the elite of the elite. So yeah, who's going to win? You're Crimson. Will of Misfortune.
I mean,
Confident?
I'm pretty confident. This isn't
Confident.
going anywhere anytime soon.
Doesn't look like it.
Nope. And he can try, and I will give him an A for effort for trying.
Looks a lot better on you than it would on him. So
I know this, but yeah.
yeah, I know. You know everything. Let's start off. "10 years in the business," and a lot of people don't know this about you. You start off in the DMVF, and tell us a little bit about that. Written Fed.
Yeah, it was a Fed that was accidentally born, I would say. It started in the wrestling page, DMV Wrestling Fans or whatever. And it was just a bunch of people talking and, coming up with moves and characters. And we decided to move it from that to a page of itself and became the DMVF Federation. And I took on the persona of Harley Quinn because I was like, hey, why not? And I met some of my closest people and current faction member and EFED husband, Joker J.
Shout out to him.
Yeah. And we bonded right off the bat. He was in my house in September for my birthday. And we had a great time. And
Does he live close by?
He lives in Virginia, I believe. So he took a bus out here. I mean, he has family here, so
okay.
It was, yeah. His brother, he came in with his brother, and it was a lot of fun. And all we did was just drink and it was a great time. And we've been together ever since. We are currently members of Los Verdugos and P.W.R, all with Big Homie, and we held the top 3 titles.
It's a good faction.
One of the best.
One of the best, yeah. So going on from the DMVF, you had some good times there, but you also had some things that made you uncomfortable.
Yes.
For instance, a certain match, and I'll let you elaborate.
So there was a lot of favoritism because there was in this world, again, the DMVF was born. We had no idea. Well, I had no idea that what we did was an actual community outside of the DMVF. So I wasn't aware.
No one ever does.
Never knew that. I didn't know there were different types of promos. I didn't know the difference between a shoot and a hype and a match. I didn't know that there were comp feds. I didn't even know what a comp fed was.
Yeah. Same
And
here.
all it was just us just having fun, but the person that created it had his favoritism, and I don't remember how it happened, but I was in a faction called DX. Like we just basically ripped off of everything the WWF used to have and
Right.
just tweaked
Oh,
it.
old school feds did, yeah.
Yeah, so we were in a faction called the DMVF, and then some of the members betrayed us to join a faction called the Corporation. I believe, I could be wrong. And there was a match where if I lost, I would be, I believe, Joker J's slave. I don't know if it was him. Of course, again, these matches weren't, storyline based or whatever. I lost, and they, yeah, I had to. I took the storyline and switched it where I found there was a hole in the contract, and I reversed it so that way that storyline didn't go any further than just me winning the match. I mean, me losing the match. So, um, yeah, it was a lot of favoritism. There was a lot of women that were in there, but they would post like a promo that was like 3 lines, like, yeah, I'm gonna beat your ass, and then they would win the match, and I'm over here putting in paragraphs and um just pages of just explaining everything, and they get a
You're a
3 second.
writer. You're a very good writer. I've read your stuff before.
Yeah, so what I put out and then what they put out, they would win the match, and I'm just like, I became like, oh, I'm just gonna put this because I'm gonna lose anyways, and you know.
Let me ask you this: Was now Joker J? He's known as your EFED husband. Was it the fact of being his slave, or what made you uncomfortable about all that?
It wasn't that's not, I don't remember if it was him. I highly doubt that it was him. But when me and Joker first started, the fact that I was Harley and he was Joker, we kind of gravitated towards each other, and we always just clicked together. So even with him, if I'm not mistaken, he didn't like it anyway. So the fact that I had flipped the
Jeez.
storyline
Right.
just fixed everything. And um, I think there was a moment where I was just took a hiatus or something, and then by the time I came back, the page was gone.
Please
Ceased
don't
to
get offended
exist.
when I ask you this. Were they wanting you to do anything like?
No, actually, no, they didn't.
Okay.
None of that.
Good.
So,
Which I know you wouldn't do anyway. So yeah. So from there on, you parted ways, and you found the E League.
yes, I did. I found the E League, and again, these were members of the DMVF and new people that I've never met before. And
Like Scotty Mac.
yep, I did not know Scotty Mac from a hole in the wall. But I did see like Joker J was there, the Big Hurt was there, Brandon Daniels was
Big
there,
who?
Big Hurt, Brian Carr. You see, it's a lot of worlds don't collide. He was in P.W.R for a moment.
The guy
Uh,
that issued the TV title thing.
yes, that's him.
Oh yeah, he's okay.
Yeah, and I met all of them, and in the E League, I had my little stride as Poison Harley, and then I decided I needed a change, and that's when Omega Black was born, and we had the, no pun intended, the faction called the Unholy, which
Never heard of anybody coming up with such a silly name.
oh god, so it was the Unholy, and it was I was Omega Black, there was Sigma Male, there was the Alpha, and then there was Omni. And we weren't dark. A lot of people construe that. We were more methodical, more sophisticated. We spoke like we're in like Greek times or whatever. And Omni would always use a voice filter, where his voice was always deep and stuff. So it was fun.
That's what I was going to ask you. Greek. You're very into Greek mythology. Omega Black. Amelia Eris. Talk about a little bit about the origins of the name Amelia Eris. I mean, I know Amelia is a name that you love, but tell us a little bit about the Eris part.
So how I got into PWR, to get into that, Scott messaged me telling me, he has a group that he's running with a few people. It's very maintained, very organized. He said, if you want to take a look, you want to go for it. And he sent me the link, and I started looking, and I was like, there were women there, and I said, I want in. And he was like, okay, great. He was like, do you want to bring Omega Black, or do you want to create your own character? And I was like, no, I want to keep Omega Black in the E-League. I want to do something new. And he was like, okay. So that whole night I was at work, I was looking up gods. I was looking up Greek gods, Greek mythology, and I didn't want to pick anyone popular.
Darken Graves.
Anyways, I didn't want to pick anyone popular like Hades, Persephone, Artemis, Athena, Aphrodite, nothing like that. So I went further deeper into the other gods, and I saw Goddess of Night, which was Nyx. And then right after that was the Goddess of Chaos, who is the daughter of Nyx. And I contemplated on those two, and the Goddess of Chaos, which is Eris. Just her story intrigued me so much more, and that's how Amelia Eris was born.
And it's rumored that she started the Trojan War, correct?
Yes, with an apple. Of course, she's considered the goddess of strife, the goddess of despair. Lore has it, and I'm speaking in very layman terms. She was not invited to a party by the gods, and she wanted to give an apple, and to the apple it said, to the fairest one.
You got another show you need to do?
No, I got a package apparently.
So I see you back now. What was the deal with the ding dong, ding dong?
Apparently the gift packet came in. Guy was kind of like slobbering
No!
and stuff. So, good. Yeah.
You wanna open it up real quick?
No, because I heard something crying in it, and I got scared, and I put it in the fridge.
No, that's just poke holes in it, and it can breathe.
What is it? Don't say it and think that I'm okay with it.
I just said poke a few holes in it, and it can breathe.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Unless you want it to die in there, and then you'll really get a smell.
Yeah, I think it's going to stay in there.
Anyway, I'm glad you got the VIP package, but back to you.
So we were talking about the E-League, yes, and how the Goddess of Chaos was born.
Yeah.
That's pretty much it.
And like I said, Amelia's always been a name that you just always loved.
Yeah, all the time. I don't know why I love it, but I do.
Well, I love it too. And everybody else, I know loves it. Tell me about your claim to fame in the E-League. You were the...
I am, if I'm not mistaken, I am the only Grand Slam champion to win all 3 titles that they have, or all 4 titles that they have in a year.
Do you remember the names of all those titles?
It was the TV title, the North American title, the World Heavyweight title, and the tag team titles.
Wow. Who's your partner?
When I had the tag team titles, it was me and I believe Omni were the tag team champions.
Omni.
Or me and Bad Moon or Pat Legend. I had one of those. It was a while.
Know that name. Know that name.
Yeah.
Cool. Good shit. What made you leave the E-League?
Well, I haven't left just yet, but
So wait, let me ask you this: are you making an announcement right here?
Well, yeah.
I don't mean to put you on the spot. I didn't know.
But the E-League has always been good to me, and I will always call it my home. and I love it dearly. It's just after a while, it's a point-based fed, and it's one of the best and fairest point-based feds there is. But
Kind of
with
like
the
fantasy football fed, right? Like,
yeah, definitely. But it is very fair. But I guess being an owner for Supremacy and being so heavily invested, um, I want to focus on PWR and I want to focus on Supremacy because Supremacy is getting bigger,
ooh,
and and I don't want to give it any less than my best, especially now since we're on the home stretch to the ending of season one. Our WrestleMania is December 22nd and 23rd. So yeah, I'm taking a step back from the E League.
you heard it right here first, folks, on the Dark and Graves Network on Enter the Cemetery Gates. And I'm sure that's going to be a big loss for them, but I'm sure they would encourage you to do whatever makes your heart happy and whatever keeps you having fun. I mean, you got a full plate already. You don't want droppings on the floor.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I know that sounded a little bit disgusting, but
No, it makes sense. So like that analogy makes sense. You don't want to. It makes sense because that's
right,
exactly what it is. I don't want to half-ass anything, and I don't want to keep anyone. I don't want anyone to think that I don't care. So I'd rather just take a step back into something that I'm not fully invested in, and I'm not behind the scenes working in, and then focus on what I am working on behind the scenes.
right. And you are. And before we get into this, let me just say you are. And like I said, we know each other personally. Um, you're one of the hardest working owners I've ever met. Um, you put your heart, your soul, your blood, sweat, and tears into every single thing that you do, whether it be in Supremacy or whether it be in conflict. But especially in Supremacy, when it comes to the artwork and the videos and everything like that, like you say, you're like a chicken with your head cut off the day of.
Yeah.
But it all comes out to be wonderful and just amazing. Like last night, tell us a little bit about last night. What was going through your head when you got the reaction of the new video and everything else?
So I finally after every pay-per-view, the following week we don't have a match card. We have a shoot the shit episode, which is we have people from the locker room join us, and we literally just talk about everything and anything under the sun, or we shoot the shit. We talk
No
about their
alcohol
favorite.
though, right? No alcohol involved.
Oh no, I was drunk. I was hammered. I am not who I am if I don't have my vape and my drink during any live.
I know this. I know this.
And this is
It's a rhetorical
non-alcoholic.
question, Amelia. Rhetorical question.
You really cannot ask a rhetorical question on a podcast. That makes no sense.
Doesn't it?
No, because every
Anyway,
question is supposed to be answered.
my podcast.
Hmm.
Your podcast, actually.
Thank you.
Tell me about last night.
So I revealed the artwork and the intro video for our Last Breath follow through. And with every pay-per-view, I have a thank you. With every pay-per-view, I have a sub character name or a sub story. And like for our previous pay-per-views, I had Brawl for It All, and it was the Royal Rumble. I had fan fiction, which was one of my favorite ones, and the roll to fan and the movement to fan fiction. The 6 weeks that led to it was called Roll for the Initiative. And for our most recent pay per view was in the abusement part called Happy Mayhem, and our subtitle for that was Down the Rabbit Hole. So our subtitle for Last Breath was given to me by John, who big shout out to John, and
Yeah,
he said
yeah.
pull the plug. So because it's considered Last Breath, pull the plug, I went with the theme of flatlining.
Yeah.
And that's when I reached out to you and I asked you for help for the music. I gave you the song that I wanted, and you nailed it right on the head. And after 3 hours of screen recording and cropping and editing and blending, I finished the intro, and it got a great reaction. And I had a little emotional moment to it because it's just,
Yeah, it's your creation.
yep, and it's the final one for the season, so it just means the world, you know.
And I don't need any credit. That's something I did to help you out.
Yeah, but it's just the way, like it's a heartbeat and the song and the flat line. That's what I wanted, and it was just every time I watch it because I love the way it is. So
I've watched
it's
it 4
just,
or 5 times.
yeah. So I sent it to you and I sent it to John, and I was like, I need to know if this is good. And both of you were just like, holy shit. I was like, that's what I wanted. I'm
I
good with
didn't
it.
masturbate to it like John did, but I, I got a semi.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
I'm only kidding. It was a really good video and well deserved emotion. That's
Thank you. I loved it. So I can't wait for people to start seeing it or using it, or for the things we have, our match card that was announced for next week. And that's it. We're on the road. We're on the last stretch, you know, for our 2-night WrestleMania event, and I'm excited.
I'll be glad to share here on this podcast if you like.
Yeah, sure.
Sure. I'll close out the show with it. Um, we kind of got a little bit forward. Let's backtrack a little bit.
Okay.
You're starting PWR, Pro Wrestling Reality. Friday night
Oh God, no.
conflict. He's amazing.
He does great work, and I kid you not.
Nobody can do that like he does.
No,
I
he
just make a
shows,
fool out of myself doing it.
as long as you know that. But
I do.
okay, so funny thing, when Scott came to visit me for, again, my birthday weekend. Him, Joker J, and Killjoy were here, KJ, and he's like, I gotta do the voiceover for the card for this week. And I said, okay, well, you could go to the bathroom. He goes, no, I'm gonna go in my car. I was like, okay. I was like, you know what? It's fine. You're in New York. You're in the Bronx. They're gonna look at you and just walk by, because they're not gonna pay attention to, you know, a skinny white man yelling at the top of his lungs in a car at all. So he came back and his voice was all raspy. He goes, yeah, I had a few people look at me. I was like, yeah, you're fine.
Wow.
So he puts in everything.
So tell me, you go from the E League, you're ready to start off in PWR, you make a big splash. Whenever we first met about a little over a year ago, I told you that you were the future of this business. Now you're the president of this business. But back toward the future of this business, you start off tag team champion with Joker J, correct?
Yes. We were the P.W.R tag team champions, and Homie was the inaugural Power Surge champion when they first revealed the title.
Do you remember who you and Joker J defeated to get those titles?
T Money. It was T Money and
Great guy.
And I believe Nickel Slick.
Who?
Nickel Slick.
Never heard of him.
Yeah, no one does. Sorry.
I thought you said Nick Lovett at first. I was about to say, what?
No, Nickel Slick. You have to pronounce it because it just doesn't sound right.
So yeah, from then on, y'all have a pretty lengthy title reign.
Yeah, I believe one of the longest. I'm not sure. Don't quote me on it, but yeah.
That's how your faction was started?
Yes. Our faction started and grew way before then, because Joker J was the reason. I was the reason why Joker J decided to join, and I was like, I told Scott I want to work with him, because whenever we wanted to work together, it never followed through. And now we are one of the best factions out there, and our storyline is never growing. We even tried, breaking up, and there was a whole skit of me and him arguing on the show, and it was so believable. People thought that we were angry, but I love, like, there's nothing bad I can say about Joker J. He's just
Nice.
that great guy. Love him. And then homie came along and he's just a brother. Like he's very on point and just very dedicated. And there's nothing like I can't say anything bad about these two guys. I can't.
Were there any other members? I'm sorry. I was gonna say, were there any other members? Any members before or
no?
It's been y'all three.
Yep.
Translate that. What that means.
Again, all right. So this, I think people say.
Again, I never asked you this before.
Yeah, Los Verdugos is Spanish for the executioners.
Oh, okay.
So that's why in the very beginning, and I'll bring it up once in a while, I always tell people they've been put on trial for their treason, false profiting, and all that stuff. And
false prophet.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
A lot of false prophets out there.
Yeah.
So you do you remember who you lost those belts to?
Paid in full.
Who's that?
That was Screws, who was the inaugural Apex champion, and oh god, I'm gonna butcher his name. Ichi. Not Ichi, no, not from Itchy and Scratchy. I think it was Ichi. I think that's what his name was. I don't remember. I just he did it. He gave a definition of the name, and I was just like, okay.
Okay, Ichi.
Mm-hmm.
From there on, you go into a singles career.
Yes.
Tell us a little bit about your rise to the Apex, to becoming Apex champion. What all did you go through to get there? How did it feel when you got there?
There was a small tournament, and I went against the person I defeated for the title was JTO, who it was an OG member of the DMVF, like me, and it was very emotional. I know it's stupid, but me and him went. We spoke backstage, and we're just like, give it a go. Let's just nail it, and that's exactly what we did. We nailed it, and it was satisfactory for us. It was a book closing for us because I've never had like a storyline so successful until coming into P.W.R. Honestly, everything that I've wanted has come to fruition because of P.W.R., because of Scott, because of Mega, because of all the people backstage, and Joker J and Homie, and just I'm happy. That's all that matters to me. As long as I'm happy.
Yeah, I'm glad you're happy. I also noticed I didn't know anybody besides myself use that word, fruition. That's pretty cool.
Don't ask me to spell it though.
FRUITION.
I didn't ask you to spell it.
Well, so you win the Apex Championship off of JTO?
Yeah, it was
promos. Like, what were the promos like? What was the match like? So
this is when I say, when it comes to communication, when it comes to telling a story, me and JTO spoke about it, and we're like, well, how do you want to do this? And I said, let's make it powerful. So the way...
Can I stop you right there? I'm sorry. I thought you didn't like to work with people behind the scenes and plan.
Depending on the thing, if I've never faced them before, the first time around, I don't want to. I faced JTO before. So doing this, I wanted it to be something for us to enjoy.
Gotcha. And I'm sorry for the interruption. I just wanted to...
No. So Screws was the inaugural Apex champion, and he turned it in for a chance at the Powerhouse title, and he lost, unfortunately. So the title was up for grabs, and it was down to me and JTO. And I remember it because me and him both dropped a 6-minute promo at the same time, telling the same story from two different perspectives. And I thought that was just pure dumb luck. Like, it was his reasoning behind it, and then there was my reasoning behind it. And it's just the correlation, the way they both meshed together. And we're just like, we did not plan this.
Kind of organically.
Yeah, it was so organic. And from then on, we moved forward. We we uh we we sounded determined, but we never passed that line of disrespectful.
Right.
And I believe, honestly, right now, one of my favorite feuds, aside from going against Tony Baloney. That was just having fun. That was a lot of fun.
Legendary. Did he put you in the arm bar, the knee bar?
Going against him, because the thing is, this is the one thing with Epperson.
Love you, brother.
We worked out. We worked on the page, and then we carried the storyline to the locker room, and people were like, "What are you?" They were like, "No, this is all." So when I go into promo mode and I shoot a promo, I'm like, "Oh, I know what you had to say in the locker room. It's true because the people that are in the locker room saw it." So it's just to continue on the story, to make it realistic, and he pulled it off perfectly.
Oh, as he always does.
Mm-hmm.
But back to the Apex title, when the results show came out, and you're watching, you're waiting to see, and you hear and knew P.W.R conflict, Apex champion Amelia Eris. What's the first thing that went through your mind?
Here's a thing no one's gonna know, and then they're gonna go back and watch it. I actually teared up a bit, and you see while Scott's talking about it, I just do this and just wipe it away. And I was just like, because I told Scott, I was like, just make it meaningful. And again, Scott, people underestimate him. He books it, he writes it, he brings it, and we bring it to life in our live shows. And
did you already know you were going to win?
That night I did. The night that we revealed the results show, I did.
But you didn't know it was going to have the impact on you that it did when it happened.
No. And I know people think it's fake and everying, and
this is wrestling.
It's a hobby, and I kid you not, you can go back to that pay-per-view and you can see I'm there, and I'm just like, then I just do this, and I teared up, and I was like, I can't do it.
Did you get goosebumps?
Yes, I did, because of the match. It was in the match because you see when you're listening to the match, Joker J comes in to try, and I believe JTO had me in a submission, and I'm yelling at Joker, "Don't come into the ring." And Joker was just like infuriated. He didn't want to interfere and help and stuff. So I said, make it powerful, make it emotional, and Scott delivered.
Yeah, as he always says. And you were saying something about him being underrated or underappreciated. I can say from my experience that he's one of those hands-on kind of I don't mean that in a literal way, one of those hands-on kind of owners that looks out to his talent and asks them their opinion. He doesn't just dictate things.
No,
that's what makes him very special.
With Scott, he knows that this is just a game at the end, but he puts in 110% regardless of the matter. He puts out a great story depending on how great you can tell it. So if you think your story sucks, you don't like the way it is, it's because you're not delivering it. So it's give and take. You got to give.
He hypes it up as much as anyone could.
He hypes up everything possible for your character to make that impact. But if you can't deliver it, then if it goes, pardon my language, flaccid, that's not on him. That's going to be on you. You have to deliver too. You can't just expect him to hype you up and you come and just, I'm just here. It doesn't work like that.
He gives you all the tools to work with. You just got to use them yourself.
Yeah.
By the way, did you say, pardon my language, but flaccid?
I'm trying to be cordial, damn it.
Oh, fucking god damn it. We're going to take a small commercial break. We're going to come right back with more of Amelia Eris. Back to the Boneyard, making its return to the Darken Graves Network. Here's a little preview. And that is coming to a nightmare near you. Back to the Boneyard, featuring Necro and Darken Graves. And that's kind of like the uncensored version of this show, as if this show wasn't uncensored enough. But it's on late night. If you really want to, let me just say this: if you're easily butthurt in the EFED community, if you don't like being made fun of, if you don't like being not bullied, but not
criticized.
There you go.
Criticized. Yeah.
Right. Perfect. You're so perfect. If you don't like any of that stuff, don't watch this show. It's definitely not for you. It's me and William Crow. I mean, Jesus Christ. But no, it's back to the Boneyard. Coming back soon with the part 2 of the Doomsayer interview on the Darken Graves Network. Now, back to you, the goddess of chaos. We got a little thing that we like to do around here called Most Likely. You ever heard of it?
I mean, from your other podcast, sure.
Yeah.
I'm afraid to see what the questions are, honestly.
You should be. For anyone that hasn't ever seen this, I give about 5 questions. Most likely EFEDer to do this. Most likely EFEDer to off themselves in the middle of a live broadcast. Something along those lines. Not that question exactly.
Oh, God.
But yeah. Most likely, you ready?
Yeah.
Most likely EFEDer right now to drink someone else's used bath water.
Oh God, and I have a match for him. I'm having a match for him. I'm feuding with him right now. Robbie
Cutthroat.
Yeah.
Robbie Cutthroat. He's gonna drink someone else's bath water.
And I think he probably might sell it. He's gonna sell it and call it Java water. Watch.
It's Java juice. It's got anal juice in it.
Oh God. I'm so sorry, Robbie. Please forgive me.
Me too, Robbie. Me too.
No, you don't worry about him. Mm.
Let me ask you, okay, follow-up question. Would he gargle with it?
I think he would brush his teeth with it. Depending on who it is.
Steven Summich.
He might burn. I don't know. I don't know. I mean, I feel so bad for I'm not touching that with a 10-foot pole, okay?
Okay.
Oh God.
E-Fed are most likely to get arrested while doing a live promo. And what would he get arrested for?
You know what? I'm gonna say John May.
What would he get arrested for?
Because John has this big
Public
thing with,
intoxication.
huh?
Public intoxication.
Maybe, but I can see him getting arrested for he has this thing like his stick in NPCW, which is another EFED that's really good. The Happy Man Asylum. He has this thing with Cheeto dust.
Yeah.
So I can see him getting confused and arrested thinking that it was like some kind of brand of cocaine.
Orange cocaine.
Orange cocaine.
We've all been there. We've all been sold fake shit before.
I mean, it could be like, orange flavored. I don't know. I don't do it, so.
Well, I don't either, but past times I've gotten orange stuff that wasn't. Now that I think about it, the drip tasted like Cheetos. I mean, that's what it was. Here's one for you. Next E-Feder, first E-Feder, I don't know if anybody else has done this. E-Feder most likely to go live and shit themselves, where it's noticeable that they've shit themselves and they don't get up or turn the camera off. They finish the promo anyway as the shit begins to spread. That's gross, but that's the questions I was given. I mean,
who gave you these questions? Can you fire them or put them in a pit?
What did you say? You assumed.
He assumed. Wrong. Moving forward. Oh, God.
I guess you know who that was, huh?
Don't want him.
Who's going to shit themselves, Jillian?
The thing is, I would say Scott, but then Scott would sell the ever-living fuck out of it, and people won't even make fun of him for it.
Yeah, I'm talking about just ignoring it.
But that's the thing. You can't ignore that. But
I'm saying the person would just sit there and just keep on promoting.
That would have to be Robbie then. Sorry. Robbie gives no shit. He doesn't give a fuck. Like,
he may have shit himself in a promo before.
I don't know. I don't want to know. Because I'm never going to look at him the same.
We'll find out.
No.
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 Just no.
Just no. We're not going to find out. No, sir. Absolutely not.
Okay. Tell me, who is the next, most likely to be the next big breakout star in P.W.R?
JTO.
He's already a breakout star, isn't he?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm talking about a young up-and-comer, almost.
Yeah, okay.
Maybe.
Well, there's two of them.
Sure.
I had them in my head, and now they just left my mind. Nappy Boy. Nappy Boy is a competitor in Supremacy. Right. And a competitor in WCC Carnage, which is our brother show. Love them to death, so shout out to WCC Carnage.
I need an invite. So
okay. Yeah. But he has shown dedication like no other. And he's only been doing this for, I believe, a year. And
I confused him with a guy that used to E-Fed called Nappy.
Yeah, he calls himself the natural one, Nappy Boy.
But no, there was another. There's a different Nappy that's been doing this for like 5 years.
Oh no, that's
He's
not
a big afro.
Yeah, no. He's I think he's Italian, the one I'm talking about.
A
But
Claudian.
yeah, but
What's a Claudian?
I said Italian. Italian.
Oh, okay.
Italian.
Oh, he's the one that did the car promo, and he's like, I know I'm sitting here in my car doing a car promo, but I'm still gonna whoop your ass.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I like that dude. I like that dude.
He's very good, and
Yeah. Okay. See?
he's getting his name out there, and he's dedicated. He
He's
does
getting
not
his name out there
disappoint.
right now.
Yeah, he did. He had one of the best feuds in Supremacy during the Happy Man thing for the amusement park. It was him against Bomber, and he gave Bomber the work. He did. He did. And you got to give him credit when credit is due. He's
Yeah.
gonna be up there.
Yeah.
He's gonna be up there.
Hey boy, you're welcome. Now, the other person, you said you had two people.
The other person,
If you had them in your head already, I mean,
I did, and then it just slipped my mind. I have terrible memory.
me too.
Uh,
I didn't forget what we're even doing right now.
no, you didn't. No.
No.
I guess I give credit where credit is due. The other person would have to be Alexia Payne, without a doubt. She is one of the deadliest women there. She is sophisticated, and you think my words are lethal. I am, rugged. I am down and dirty or whatever, and then you see she's like high class. She can politely embarrass you, and then you don't want to go after her again.
Let me put you on the spot real quick. Is she better than the Goddess of Chaos?
No, she's right there with me.
Oh, so she's even with the Goddess of Chaos.
Yes.
She's just as good as you.
I think if there ever was a Fed that wants a great storyline, they would make it happen. Because we would.
Another exclusive, ladies and gentlemen. I didn't think that you would ever say anyone was equal to you.
Yeah, she is without a doubt. So if Scott's listening, make it happen.
There's guys like, for instance, Unholy Icon. It's like above you and all that. But I never thought.
Who?
That. Exactly. You'll find out who one day, sweetheart. Who's going to be the next P.W.R. World Heavyweight Champion? Most likely to dethrone Big Homie. If that happens, I mean, let's just say hypothetically. Hypothetically. I got a little Tasmanian devil right there.
Yeah.
Who's someone? Actually, do me this. Give me 3 names on the P.W.R. roster that could possibly dethrone him if given the opportunity.
Is this like with the idea of factions being involved and everything, or no? Just
I'm
in
just
general.
saying, one individual besides yourself, of course. Because we all know that's in your future at some point.
We'll see. Well, I hope.
I don't do that shit. 3 names.
3 names. Joker J, JTO, and someone that hasn't had the title. I can definitely see Mega, the Alpha Predator.
Okay. Fair enough. Okay, next up, before I allow you the chance to dig your own grave, Amelia, Let's talk about controversy, something that I'm very well known for, especially here in the past week, especially my whole career. You, on the other hand, you've had your small doses of controversy, but they've been controversy nevertheless. Tell me a little bit about, first off, has there been a controversy where you've had as an owner in Supremacy or as a moderator or an admin in conflict? Because you're known as the kind of like the middleman, the peacekeeper, the what's the word?
HR department, the glue.
The glue, what the one that goes between the two people.
The median.
Yes. Has there ever been a case in any of what I just said where you've had to, where someone's so controversial you had to remove them, take them to the principal's office?
Right when Supremacy had opened up, we figured we give the people that were having a hard time doing the minimum of promos down to Supremacy to just, get into the swing of things and maybe make their way back up. One of those people was I don't remember his in-ring name, Tyler Grisham.
Anthony.
Yeah, Anthony Benton.
Yeah, he's a piece of shit.
Sure.
His mom comes in and promos for him because she caught him sucking on a dildo. Yeah, it's him.
Okay.
But I'm speaking facts. The whole community knows this.
Oh, well, okay.
He tried to do what Lady Denon did, but made it look incredibly cringeworthy and made everybody want to, besides the fact that he's a pedophile. But anyway, continue.
I mean, to me, he always looked like a 12-year-old, so I could never really see him as a man. And I'm not trying to be insulting. He just looked prepubescent.
I am.
So he.
Sorry.
At that time, I was just beginning to do like behind the scenes work, helping with P.W.R. So when we told him they were going to Supremacy, he was not happy. And I had given him a nice match for the opening show, and he no-showed. And then I completely, removed him, and he just gave me shit for it. How can you do this? You just messing up with my depression. You're messing up my anxiety, and me, I've been diagnosed with PTSD, OCD, right, anxiety, depression. I've been diagnosed with the whole 9 yards. And and we always, whenever we're having a bad day, we always let the other people, I need a mental health week, a mental health day, and people respect that. That's always been the thing. You need to communicate with who you're working with.
It's a crutch.
And it just constantly, something happened, and it was his best friend's and I'm not knocking it because I don't know the relationship between these people, but it was one where he had a title match, he had a match for a #1 contendership, and he didn't promo. He ended up catching a 30-day ban, and we're like, you can always send the video to me, to Scott, to Mega, to anyone to post it for you. That's just the thing. And then he went on to state that
what was his excuse then?
His excuse was his best friend's, I don't quote me on this.
No, I believe you.
Oh, your people are so nice. They brought me food.
Well, I told him to send that on the package. Smell it before you eat it, though.
I mean, it's
take a sniff.
It's real, right?
Yeah, it's real.
Take the thumbs up.
Take a sniff. I don't want to make
sure. It's good. It's good. It's fine.
No lady perfume. Okay, good. Go on.
Okay, so it was his best friend's great grandmother that passed away.
Oh God, heaven forbid.
And he was not having it. He was just having a bad day. He couldn't focus and just.
I'm sure they were very close. I mean.
Sure.
Your best friend's great grandmother's friend?
Something like that. And then like again, this was a year ago. So if anyone, the people that are protective of me and whatever, don't go after him. He went into my inbox and he just kept on. And I said, listen, I don't need you coming at me with this attitude. You were given a warning. You failed. You then waited to the last minute to say whatever it is that you're going through. After multiple times of not communicating with us, we had no other choice but to let you go. This is not a company. You're not going to get any severance package or anything. We're just not going to book you anymore. And I blocked him because he just kept saying that, how can I do that to someone with depression? And I'm just like, listen, buddy.
Yeah, that's wrong to do that. Try to make someone else feel bad about.
Yeah. So I had to block him.
Yeah. Well, and here's a fun fact for you, and this shows about you. Let me tell you a quick story. I am 16-0 against him. One where he actually showed up. 15-0 against him by no show.
It's a great record to hold.
Yeah. It's the trophy's going to be up here next week. But I would like to send my condolences to Anthony Benton's best friend's great grandmother's friend. That had to be a tough loss. What about you? What about you? Controversy personally.
Personally,
People have said before that you and Scotty Mac's relationship is, I know is strictly professional, but a lot of people don't.
when I first joined P.W.R, there was a lot of controversy because it looked like I was having favoritism,
Why
and
would
I felt,
that?
I don't know. I don't know how it started. I don't know what was said. I don't know anything. Um,
Do you think
Scott,
it's, I'm sorry.
no, I said Scott deleted all whatever videos that were there if they were posted. So I really didn't.
What video?
Uh, I don't know. Like I said, I didn't want to intrude. I didn't want to investigate. I didn't want to get involved. I didn't want to put my input or fight for people to believe me or anything like that. So I just left it at that. And there was, speculation that me and him were messing around. Or, oof,
Do you
he's my
think that
brother.
that same speculation would have went on if you were a man? I don't
With
mean that.
Scott?
I don't mean that in a sexist way. I'm trying to say because you're a
No,
powerful woman in this game, you're an owner. I didn't mean any disrespect by that.
no, you didn't. No, I know.
But do you think
I,
it's because you're a woman and these people don't get it?
it could have been. Like I said, I don't have the mindset to, oh, well, what if, just me and
Right. I'm
Scott.
just trying to figure out why idiots think the way they do.
So, but he called me and he was like, yeah, apparently there's some favoritism, whatever. And he's like, and I was like, and I'm like, I'm sorry. He's like, what the fuck are you apologizing? And I'm just like,
Do you know who started it?
no, I don't know anything. I try not to be involved in it. I don't, that I'm the least controversial person there is because I know that if anything were to blow back on me, there would be no evidence to prove it.
I know this. I just, me as a psychology student, I try to understand the mind, and why anybody would think that to begin with is beyond me. Because
Yeah.
I've been around both you and Scott in the same time in the same group chats, and it's strictly professional.
But yeah, he's a pain in my ass. We can all
He's a good friend, but
yeah. He you can see when you see the live results and everything like that. I don't want.
You're supposed to have fun with your friends.
Yeah, and not to toot our my own horn and stuff, but when it comes to the live results that we do, I think we're one of the best ones out there, if not the best one out there.
You're definitely the best now.
We've always been the best. You tried it. You failed. Anyways,
versus you had.
you
No habla inglés.
Oh, okay.
What's
Rumor had it, kind sir, that we were going to run away together to an undisclosed location.
Yeah, a tropical island of some sorts.
That just sounds.
Leave our significant others and run away together.
Yeah.
That was a big mess.
Yeah.
Did that affect your career in any way, or did you?
No, absolutely not. I mean, people joked about it, and Dan, I'm gonna say it. Dan Ness would, when he was part of the group chats in our occasional group meetings, that would be one of the first things that he would mention, and I would just like, shut the fuck up, Dan. Like, don't care. Like, come on, like.
Dan, no one cares about you. Go fucking.
But we started talking.
Literally.
We started talking and just figured everything out all together, and just noticed that it was a big commotion, a big whole.
You didn't know that I had. You didn't know that I didn't know that had happened.
No.
So nobody informed me of this, and I've got like all these people hating me.
Yep.
Thinking that I'm some scumbag that was trying to do whatever it was I was supposedly trying to do, but it was Dan Ness the whole time.
Yeah.
So we can announce to the world that someone made a big mess. And that's something that I would not want to clean up.
And if I'm not mistaken, he's never to be heard from again.
Well, yeah. I hope he's never heard from again, literally. Now, Mr. Eris, do you have a shovel with you?
Oh, God. No.
You know how to dig a hole?
Maybe.
I mean, besides that industrial piercing and that septum ring out there, which is very nice, by the way.
Thank you.
Would you like to dig your own grave? Rhetorical question. Of course you'd like to dig your own grave.
Sure, why not? I mean, might as well. I'm sober.
So, I know that's got to be just
boring. Yeah, it is. I meant being sober is boring.
Dig your own grave is, for those of you who don't know, is a word association. I give her a name or an ephid or some kind of phrase, and I want more than just a word bag, one word bag. I want at least a phrase, a sentence, and maybe even a small story. So we're gonna start off. You ready?
Yeah, let's do it.
Start off easy. Scotty Mac.
Best friend, close brother, great. And he's gonna rub it in my face. I'm gonna say it is the greatest booker in the game.
I agree. Joker J.
He's Mr. J. He's I can never be mad at him. I can never, he's been so supportive in any decision that I make. He's been there with me from the beginning. And wherever I go, he goes. And that's how it's been. And I know that's how it's going to continue to be.
Sabrina Scott.
I decided to make her as my mentor.
No, your protege, right?
Yeah, sorry, cut. Hi, baby.
Sorry, someone's using the bathroom right now.
Is she in the bathroom?
Just seconds.
Okay.
Yeah, cut that. But.
Sorry, I didn't mean to say mentor, and then.
Okay. Yeah.
I thought you were going to Manhattan.
I did. They didn't have it. So I came home. What time is it?
Oh shit! I didn't even know it was almost 3:00.
We're almost done.
Okay, I'm sorry. What were we doing?
Yeah.
I got
Sabrina,
hot because the sun is in my face and I don't. You see?
Sabrina Scott.
Hmm?
3, 2, 1. Sabrina Scott.
She is up and coming talent. I don't know how long she's been doing this, but me and her have bonded closely.
She's your protege.
She's my protege. I am helping her to step out of her comfort zone, and she's learning. And she has great potential. I see it in her. I really do, and I can see her being a mini me.
She's got a great teacher. Joseph Garcia.
Weirdo.
What?
Just oh, Jesus Christ. Okay.
You don't have to really.
No. I'm gonna say it. All right. So we all know this. StreamYard has a thing where you have to connect your account. If not, it says Facebook user. So whenever I do my live results, you have the occasional like Joker would say something about me, whatever, and then I would like, say how you doing, Mr. J, or you have ATM try to be like, oh, Miss Amelia looking whatever. There's this one person in all caps, and they're like, oh, wink at me, blow me a kiss, do this and do that. And at first I thought it was Joker, so I did it the first time. And then it kept going on and on and on. And I'm like, who is this?
So who did you think it was?
I thought it was Joker J. I kid you not. I thought it was him, or I thought it was ATM. So I was like, I'll fuck with them, just to, whatever. And then going through the results, and John had messaged me, oh, that's Joseph Garcia. I don't know who he is personally. I don't know what he does. I don't know anything about him. But I guess we became friends on Facebook, and now he comments on my videos, and now he's sending me messages on Messenger of match cards or something, and him drinking, and I muted him completely. I don't want it.
There's a block button. It's there for a reason.
I know, but I just
here's
the only reason why I don't block it is because if he were to post anything in P.W.R, I can't see it because I blocked him. So in case no one else is there to take it down, I would have to take it down.
I guess that would be a question for Scotty Mac. David Jones.
Toxic. Really believe he's toxic. And
elaborate real quick.
Elaborate.
Yeah.
He the things that I've seen him do or seen him say in general, it just left a really bad taste in my mouth. And just
let's break kayfabe for a second, or break whatever for a second. You've been on the phone with me, and you've heard him talk. You've heard the way he talks.
I heard the way he spoke to you, and then he's made some comments about me, and I don't know the man from a hole in the wall.
And you saw what he said back to those comments.
Yeah, and he compared me to somebody else, and I'm not mentioning any names.
No, she's not.
And then he said, from what I heard for you tell me, he was infuriated. Very big word, that I did not join IW.
Anyone he can't control, that infuriates him.
No, that sounds like a personal problem on his thing.
Enough about that fucking cuck. William Crow.
I love his work. I absolutely love his work. I love that accent, that priest, pastor accent that he does. I love everything about him, and he's going to do great things. He's the only one that I can see encapsulate his character and make it real, because it's not a gimmick.
Wow, the only one. Okay. Speaking of characters, and these guys out there, Darken Graves.
Darken Graves. We were just talking about this too earlier. I don't see him or perceive him as a dark character. He's very intimidating. And he knows how to flip a switch because you don't know how he's gonna react. Like 1 minute he's talking to you and he's just like 1 minute he's talking to you and the next minute he's just all up in your face yelling and you're just like, he knows when to hit you with an impactful phrase. So
Lenore Lynn, Brooke Phillips.
I think Lenore Lynn has a lot of potential if she solely focuses on one thing at a time. That's all I can say on it. She can do great things, but she needs to stay focused. Because I feel like she gets in over her head with a lot of these things, and it just becomes too much for her. So when things become too much, I know firsthand you begin to freak out a bit. You begin to let go. You begin to fall off,
Next guy is a very dear friend of mine and a good friend of yours. We both had matches with him. Trey Camp.
My brother. That's all I can say. We did a short stint in Heresy when it was part of the P.W.R brand.
Before he got the Viking boy.
Yeah, so he did one where we grew. I was just thinking about it. It's just, you know what? Just thinking about it, our storyline was that we grew up in the foster home and we ended up, separating, getting adopted or whatever, and then we found each other in Heresy, and he just sold it Dan gave him the idea of it, and he just went through with it. Like he was talking like he knew me for years, and I was just like, my hat's off to you.
Remind me to tell you about his garbage man gimmick later on.
Okay.
Really good. I got two left. This might throw you for a loop. First off, AMELIA ERIS.
I am so proud of it. So proud of her. She's everything I had wanted her to be, and then some. And seeing her grow from being so intimidated to being in portrait mode with promos to being not knowing how to do graphics or anything like that to now owning Supremacy, being Apex champion and everything. She's not done yet. She is far from done. That's what I'm saying.
She's very special. Mm-hmm. All right, last one. Jillian Marie Rosado.
Stubborn. I say that she is stubborn. I'm not used to being complimented and honored and mentioned in so many things that I do. So seeing it happen, seeing it going on as it's happening, and bringing it to it's surreal and it's unreal for me, and it gets better each day.
Great. Look, if you'll stick around for about 30 seconds after the show so I can talk with you for a second, I want to thank you for coming on, but I always like to give my guests the last word. So give me about 10, 15 seconds. You got the last word.
I don't know. I'm excited to see what's happening in the future of P.W.R in Supremacy. We have our final stretch. Our last breath is December 22nd to December 23rd is a 2-night event. And I cannot wait to see the showcase matches we have planned, the storylines begin. And I cannot wait to see what happens in conflict. Great things moving forward, and I'm just thankful to be a part of it.
Well, I'm thankful you're a part of this podcast. Like I said, stick around about 30 seconds. I'll get back with you. Thank you, AMELIA ERIS, the goddess of chaos.
Thank you.
And folks, when you think about like I said, people that actually treat this as a game and not work. People that love to have fun and treat people fairly, but are still so goddamn good at what they do. The epitome of all that is Amelia Eris. I want to thank her for being a guest on my show tonight. Until next time, all Darken's people always say, hey, fucking man. See you next week.